Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Before I get started, I want to say that the opinions that I give here are my own opinions. They are extremely subjective. If I dislike a book, it is not a reflection on the author and it is not a reflection on people who do like it. Different people have different tastes, and that's okay. Today I will be reviewing The Alpha and His Ace by Anna J. Phoenix. This is a paranormal romance novella. The description says, young, handsome, and the alpha of his wolf pack, Brandon has never had trouble finding men to have sex with. Only one thing is missing: his mate. Brandon can't find him, and the rest of his pack is growing concerned about his lack of a partner. An alpha needs a strong partner. Things seem to be looking up when he finally finds his fated companion in Aiden. One problem: Aiden's asexual, and Brandon's now confused. Who doesn't want sex? Aiden, that's who. And Brandon hasn't got a clue how to make someone love him without it. It's going to take some serious self-examination, acceptance, and some really good cake for Brandon to make his way into Aiden's heart. 2 stars. Largely, this book felt like a primer on asexuality. Brandon has never heard of it, and Aiden is not interested in explaining, so he just points him at Avon to get the basics. The book then shares that info with the reader. That's great if you somehow ended up reading this with no knowledge whatsoever of asexuality, but that doesn't seem terribly likely. For me personally, I am very familiar with the concept, so the Asexuality 101 lecture was just annoying. Still, I probably could have enjoyed it anyway if it had been what I was expecting. I actually kind of enjoy werewolf romance, in theory. There is a part of my brain that really wants to read it. Unfortunately, there are common pitfalls that keep me far away. Pretty much all of it involves the big strong man having to protect their pathetic little partner. I'm not necessarily opposed to that dynamic if it's handled well, but it often isn't. As a result, the het romances tend to leave me with a massive feeling of ick. It just feels like misogyny in a new hat. If you want to know my feelings on that, go watch my review of Escaping the Duke. It's the exact dynamic I'm talking about. Okay, fine. I like queer stories. Just read the queer stuff, you might say. But for reasons I will never be able to understand, gay werewolves almost always end up with mpreg. That means the pathetic little partner gets pregnant despite being a guy, if you were blissfully ignorant. I'm not a huge fan of pregnancy stories in general, but mpreg is definitely not my thing. I cannot speak to lesbian werewolf romance. Not only do I not generally gravitate towards lesbian books, I'm not sure I've ever actually seen werewolf lesbians anyway, so who knows. At any rate, that basically means I don't read werewolf romance, because it will almost certainly give me the ick. A shame, really. Enter the alpha and his ace. If Aiden doesn't want sex, he can't get pregnant. This I can read. And no, he doesn't get pregnant. That, at least, was not a point on which I was disappointed. Where I was disappointed was with the rep. I'm not saying it was bad. I want to be clear on that. The problem is that, based on the description, I thought Aiden was sex repulsed, and he isn't. Not all aces are, of course, but I am, so part of wanting to read this was to see myself reflected in fiction. Kind of sucks when you're expecting to feel seen, and you aren't. Again, there are all kinds of aces. Some are okay with sex, some even like sex. I'm not trying to shit on those people. You do you. It just wasn't the rep I wanted. For what it was, it may well have been excellent rep. I can't say either way with any confidence. Mostly, it was fine, really. I just didn't enjoy it. This is another one where I will neither encourage or discourage anyone from giving it a shot if they're curious. It also has a sequel, My Alpha and His Cake. I have not read it. I'm not going to. That's all I have to say about the Alpha and his ace. If you like this video, I hope you'll watch more in the future. Thanks for watching this one. Bye!